Rain lashed against the hospital windows like it was trying to break in. Dr. Elise Morgan sat motionless outside the ICU, her body numb, her mind far away. Inside, her best friend, Nano, her sister in all but blood, was fighting for her life. Rachel had collapsed at work just hours earlier. A sudden brain hemorrhage. The doctors acted fast. Elise scrubbed in without asking. She couldn't bear the thought of someone else's hands being the last to touch her, but it hadn't been enough. Rachel was in a coma now. No prognosis, no promises. Machines breathed for her and Elise, the trauma surgeon who saved strangers every day and couldn't do a thing. She needed air, or maybe she just needed to run. She barely felt the cold as she climbed the stairs to the rooftop. The sky above was boiling black. Thunder cracked like a gunshot. And then, without warning, light swallowed everything. When Elise opened her eyes, the world was wrong. The hospital was gone. No sirens, no concrete, no lights, and only fields, smoke in the distance, and wooden buildings nestled between rolling hills. She was in another time. Disoriented, Elise clutched her med bag and somehow still with her, and walked toward voices. A group of villagers were carrying someone, calling for help. The girl in their arms had a deep head wound, barely breathing. Elise pushed through. When she saw the girl's face, the air left her lungs. Rachel, not someone who resembled her. Younger maybe, but without question, it was Rachel. It didn't make sense, none of this did. But Elise didn't hesitate. She took control, using whatever she could. Boiled water, herbs, fishing line for stitches. There were no monitors, no sterile gloves, just firelight, instinct, and hope. She worked for hours, and when Rachel's breathing steadied, Elise finally let herself breathe too. Days passed. The villagers whispered she was a healer from the heavens. Elise didn't care. She saved who she could, taught what she could, and stayed by Rachel's side until she opened her eyes again. "You always show up," Rachel said weakly, smiling with cracked lips. "Even when you're not supposed to." Elise laughed through tears. "Guess I always will." But strange things started to happen. People she saved altered the flow of events. A boy lived who should have died. A woman survived childbirth and went on to lead a community she was never meant to. The past was shifting, and the changes didn't come without warnings. A quiet man in white robes came to her one night. He spoke gently. "You've touched time," he said, "and time remembers." Elise didn't reply. He held out a small ribbon, red and frayed at the edges. "She'll remember," he said, "even if she doesn't know why." The light came again, and then she was back. The hospital lights buzzed above her. Machines beeped. For a moment, she thought maybe she'd collapsed from exhaustion, hallucinated everything. Then she heard it, a quiet voice from the bed. "Elise?" She rushed into the room. Rachel was awake, pale, blinking slowly, but awake. Elise grabbed her hand. "You scared the hell out of me." Rachel smiled faintly. "I had the weirdest dream." "You were there." Elise stared at her. "What kind of dream?" "You were wearing old clothes. Everything smelled like smoke and rain. You saved me, with a fire and a knife. There were fields, it felt real." Elise didn't answer. She just kept holding her hand. Later, when she unpacked her med bag in her office, she found something tucked deep in the bottom. Something that hadn't been there before. A small red ribbon frayed. Familiar, Elise smiled softly. Whatever that world was, whatever had happened, it gave her what mattered most. Rachel was here, alive. This time nothing was taking her away.